Ginger tracking the possible twisters, flood warnings, and blizzard conditions. But first, Alex Perez starts us off.
Not just a lot of damage, but put lives at risk.
And as it moves, this storm is created to stay off the roads if possible. Michael?
All right, Alex, thank you for that. Now, Ginger is here with the track and timing of the two major storms.
We've got.
Morning, Ginger.
That one storm, Michael, is a powerhouse, waking us up with tornado watches throughout the night. That meant that the conditions were. We've got.
Morning, Ginger.
That one storm, Michael, is a powerhouse, waking us up with tornado watches throughout the night. That meant that the conditions were right. But in the last couple hours, we've seen warnings about debris flying and be prepared. Have a place that you will shelter because there's a possibility of strong tornadoes. The system already showed us what it can do. It is one of two. We've got blizzard warnings up in the Cascades all around Seattle, Portland, but then you've got the wind alerts, and we're talking about just water. It's going to come with some heavy rain. Robin, flood watches are up, and a lot of those rivers that flooded just last couple of weeks ago in New Jersey have a possibility of doing it again. Gusts up to 70 overnight tonight.
Nasty out there.
Back to Ginger.
Congrats to my friends in Ann Arbor. Madison, Milwaukee, you've got the 90, 94, anywhere there. Today's going to be west of Chicago. We're watching another new storm in the Pacific Northwest. We'll get into all of it. Your local weather in 30 seconds. In 30 seconds. In 30 seconds.
Fridge?
It's not dog food, it's fresh pet. Real meat, real veggies.
It's dog food.
Fresh Pet. It's not dog food, it's food.
Destination wedding? Why can't they use my backyard?
2 feet of fresh powder in 24 hours. Significant snow. It's really such an active
pattern. But in the next 5 days, if you're in the Rockies there, Park City, Jackson, back into the Cascades, we're talking about significant snow. So, coming up here on GMA, we hunt the Northern Lights. I am going to take you on an amazing adventure in Yellowknife, Canada. You don't want to miss it. Also, Lakeith Stanfield and James McAvoy are here talking about their new movie. And your local news and weather next. And I'm Zoom with the Wicks next. If only written on the foster here all the times in Asian that like nice speech to us office. I'm an already and I handle like person everything is in when I was just doing that. Yeah, I'm doing the snow. And he's not refund my voice. I'm snicker fingers, I'm across the stakes. I give his neck had this guy's need a scarf for a sea car when there is his mouth scanning
The Northern Lights. It's on so many bucket lists, including Ginger's. She had the opportunity to visit the Great White North. Those stunning images are coming up. That is beautiful.
It is. First look at the top stories breaking at 8. We start with that extreme weather threatening virtually every possible tornadoes, flood warnings, and blizzard conditions. Hey, Ginger.
Hey there, George. Nothing like waking up with tornadoes. That's exactly how the Florida Panhandle, southern Georgia, waking up, and Alabama. I'll tell you about all of it. But Panama City this morning, you can see that lightning flashing. We've seen debris and already pictures of the damage coming in. We'll keep getting those on for you. But look at this. The tornado watches have extended well into Georgia, almost to the center of the northern part of the peninsula of Florida. So that means that the conditions are ripe. We know or east of that line have down to, say, Savannah and Jacksonville, you need to be on alert for those strong tornadoes. That's just part one. Then we got to talk about the snowy side of this. And we've had blizzard conditions in parts of Texas and the plains as this thing was flooding. The snowy side, Chicago to the west, going to end up with that snow. Heaviest Quad Cities there in Rockford, Illinois. Look at some of this. The damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour. That's tonight. So not only do we have flooding rains, Robin, but you're going to see gusts easily over 60.
I want everyone to take care, Ginger. Thank you so much. Now,
created by powerful eruptions of energy from the sun, launching toward Earth on solar winds up to 45 million miles per hour. When that energy collides with that protective magnetosphere, particles are drawn toward the north and south poles. Those particles then interact with gases in the thermosphere, so right in our atmosphere, and they light up around something known as the aurora oval. That way, people can see them from the ground. In Yellowknife, we are right under the aurora oval.
Oh my God, look at that.
As a tour guide, combining his passion for the science with his indigenous upbringing.
How to say it in Dene?
Yake nakas. The sky is stirring.
Yake nakas.
Look at that.
It's definitely stirring tonight.
Woo! In the short hours of daylight, there's also plenty to do.
This is a great way to see a lot super fast.
Snowmobiling on a giant frozen lake. Let's go, Rudolph! Kick sledding with the help of these feisty sled dogs. Hiking. It's easy to work up an appetite. And they deliver delicious local fish caught daily, the perfect fuel for those cold nights staring at the sky. Photographer Bill Braden literally wrote the book on the aurora. He's seen and photographed thousands over the years.
Digital technology is able to gather all that light, the stuff that our eyes can't see. It drinks all this light and stores it up in the sensor and then delivers it. Guests will often say, well, I didn't see the purple, the mauve, or the red. My camera did. Ah, this is cool. Okay, here we go. Hold still. I like that. Give me some attitude.
Nailed it. Another warmer way to view the so generous, sharing parts of their culture with us. Like this traditional Dene hand game.
I love this, like you're taunting each other.
It's talking smack. Yeah. Indigenous people love to celebrate, and that's where you get the drums.
And to experience the lights with other travelers, visit the Aurora Village, rows of heated teepees surrounded by snow-capped trees.
The way we see Aurora is it's spirits, our ancestor spirits, dancing in the sky. They're enjoying themselves. They're letting you know they're happy. They're all together. They're having a big drum dance up there.
That was certainly the case on the night that we were blessed with this stunning display. Even when you're alone, it's never lonely under the aurora.
Oh, you saw that shooting star.
And a parting gift from the dancing spirits.
I can't tell you how otherworldly it felt. And I do have some good news for anyone that's inspired and looking to have your own aurora experience. The solar maximum that brings us the best aurora displays goes in 11-year cycles. And NOAA just put out their forecast saying we are now entering the peak, which means that you've got an even better shot of seeing the gorgeous northern lights in Canada throughout 2024.
Oh, wow. It looked like an incredible trip. If you had to pick, what was your favorite part?
I mean, the aurora, obviously, because that's what we went there. But I was so surprised with getting to know the culture, the Dene tribe, and learning about their history, and then seeing how connected they are to the land. I mean, the sustainability is next level. I just really enjoyed meeting the people, and I didn't expect that because, you know, you think, oh, there's not as many people up there. First, quite unsteady. we didn't show the part where I was like, we got to the end where I was really mastering it.
You look like you were going pretty fast.
Yeah, when the dogs take off, they're so hype and they're so ready to do it that you're like, I don't have full control here, but they were wonderful and they were so adorable too.
Great. I'm on our football team. Back now with our football forecast into this weekend's NFL championship games. You got Will Reeves, Sam, and Ginger with everything to watch for on and off the field, including an exclusive from Kylie Kelsey. Will, kick things off.
Guys. Yeah, a lot of excited fans there. Will. I don't even know where to begin. You too. I don't know where to begin. But we have seen some brutal weather during the look like this weekend.
If anything, my Detroit Lions know how to play or lose sometimes in really bad weather, but they're going to win this time because as for the weather, the Chiefs, well, you need to drop everything now and meet me in the pouring rain. East wind 5 to 15 miles per hour, so, you know, that could impact passing and kicking because I know those things.
Yeah.
The NFC game, though, at Levi's Stadium, well, that was
That's crazy.
Sunshine.
That's
it's going to be gorgeous. Drops to 60s by the end of the game, but boy, a beaut.
That's going to be great. Yeah. I got to be there, so it's going to be
that would be so much better.
Yeah.
Your personal forecaster. Okay, Sam. So not all of us pay attention real close to everything happening on the field, but we do watch the stands.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Michael, I'm so sorry because I'm within arm's reach of you, and I'm so sorry to start this way. But we all know the real action happens just a few yards off the field, in the stands. Yes, there's a lot to. But
But we see what. But we see what. But we see what. But we see what. But we see what.
I love her. She's amazing. But she'd have to be, right? So George's first question in the middle of that was go through a table, right?
Break a table.
I've got you, George. So here's the whole thing. This involves, there's something at tailgating that happens here. It involves a folding table, a John Cena move, and basically just don't do it at home, all right? You have to break through the folding table by tossing someone on top of the folding table.
Yeah, you get slammed into the table.
I don't know if I'm embarrassed or proud that Sam had to explain that.
At your service, George. At your service.
I even got Will to laugh at that one. Tune in Monday on GMA for more of that exclusive interview with Kylie Kelsey. She talked about everything from their family to his future. We'll be right back.
That's my husband. So rail traffic had to be suspended between San Diego and Orange County because of a landslide. All of that heavy rain also having big problems there along the coast. So there's going to be more where that came from. Not this weekend because Southern California remains dry with the next 5 days, but that's not the case up in Washington State and Oregon, especially Northern California too. But watch this. The extended Pacific jet stream is incredibly active. We're going to blow that right in by Wednesday, Thursday next week. We'll be getting into Southern California. Coming up, Jennifer Lopez's surprising new project, and TikTok's favorite librarian is here live, sharing his love for books. Your local news and weather, they're coming up next.
Kimberly Akimbo is the Tony.
And you're going to see less than a quarter mile up to Rochester, Minnesota. That flash flooding that's been happening across the deep south not only will happen today, the western half today, the eastern half tomorrow, but that red circle is for tomorrow for dangerous winds and isolated tornadoes from Pensacola on up through Birmingham. This storm does move to us, Michael, but we should stay on the mostly rain side. There's snow on the north. I'll tell you all about it.
All right. Discovery by a Rottweiler named Emma, who lives in Toronto. On a walk earlier this week with her. I described the moon, and that's what she saw when she saw the moon. Take a look. It's not a bird she's looking at. It's nothing else but the moon. Emma's adorable reaction to the moon now going viral. The problem is, how do you take her for a walk now? Because she'll never be able to get that ball. Right? So what do you do?
Go out when it's cloudy?
Yeah, exactly. Only walk the dog outside in the clouds. All right, thank you so much for saying for that. Always a good time. Now we're going to Ginger. Hey, Ginger.
All she has to do is ask our spaceman, Michael Strahan. She could get up kind of far, closer to the moon. Okay, so let's look at the big division where they go up closer to the 70s, and we stay.
More of that interview. Ginger, over to you.
F-U-N and F-U-N-D-S. I'm also stealing this. Good. All right, so you know they're just 5 inches short in Juneau, Alaska of the snowiest January on record. Right now, second snowiest so far, and it looks real pretty. Fonzie was like, I want to go. That looks good. So a lot of Alaska's been getting some snow, but now it's a little bit of a warmer system. Unless you're up in the highest elevations, that's where you're still going to end up with this storm with another 4 to 6 feet. So yes, there is more where that came from. Let's get a check now a little closer to home.
And rain could end as snow late Sunday into early Monday, but right now all rain scattered.
And you know, Wisconsin had their first February tornado since records really began in 1950. So this is a big deal to see this in February. Remember, they also had record high temperatures, so that was what was helping fueling those thunderstorms. The damage there, they'll get out there in Evansville and see what rating they'll give it. But it looks like rounds of heavy rain and flash flooding possible across the south on Saturday, and then on Sunday, tornadoes almost in the same area. Your local weather in 30 seconds.
Tech D.
Several states in the Rocky Mountains have had avalanche warnings through the week. Here at Cottonwood Canyon in Utah, they're doing avalanche mitigation to make sure that they don't have an accident. And then you go a little further south and you got northern Arizona getting some of that snow. We're going to wrap that up and give Denver snow on Saturday. Looks like they're in that watch area, so they could get considerable snow, enough to slide toward us. So early next week, we would end up with a potential for rain-snow mix or snow on the top end. Of course, as it gets closer, we can get a little more detailed. Now, coming up here on GMA, Lori Bergamato here, the right stuff for Valentine's Day. And we're going to check in on the Taylor Swift experience in Tokyo, where there's a new devoted Chiefs fan base. Plus, Stephen A. Smith is live with his Super Bowl predictions and why he thinks Taylor Swift is good for the game. Your local news and weather next.
You in Tokyo. Ginger, let's go over to you. Hey, Gio, you know you've got two seasons in one day when you've got piles of snow from the last snowstorm, and now you've got hail falling on that in Wisconsin. That's Economowoc. So record heat was found in many places, a couple handfuls. But today we could see it again. Chicago going into the mid-50s, as is Grand Rapids. Detroit in the low 60s, and then this all slides to the east. New York City close to 60 on Saturday. Raleigh in the low 70s. Let's get a check now a little closer to home.
That's right, close to records tomorrow. Right now, temperatures in the mid to upper 30s and the low